From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 1st, 2019. The IDF yesterday responded to the United Nations Commission of Inquiry report damning Israel for its response to riots at the Gaza security fence last year, alleging that Israeli soldiers violated international law and possibly committed war crimes. The IDF took issue with the Commission's assertion that the demonstrations were mostly civilian in nature, releasing video last night clearly showing incitement to violence by Hamas leaders at the riots last year. The IDF noted how the report claims the riots were protests trying to make a political point. They asked, how often does political activity involve breaking through a border with knives while shouting death threats? The IDF also noted the 1,300 rockets fired by the terror group last year, which was ignored in the report. And today, some 8,000 Palestinians gathered at the Gaza fence with many burning tires, throwing rocks and explosive devices at IDF troops, who responded with tear gas and, in some instances, live fire when necessary. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry said 3 Gazans were injured. Well, comments from Minnesota Congresswoman Omar are once again causing outrage in the Jewish community. The Jewish Insider first reported that appearing alongside several other Democratic House members Wednesday night at a progressive town hall in Washington, D.C., including Michigan lawmaker Rashida Tlaib, Omar suggested that criticism of some of her past comments being anti-Semitic was because of her religion.
Is that because Rashida and I are Muslim? That a lot of our Jewish colleagues, a lot of our constituents, a lot of our allies go to thinking that everything we say about Israel to being anti-Semitic because we are Muslim.
In response, the Jewish Democratic Council of America wrote on Facebook, "We celebrate the diversity of Democrats in the 116th Congress, but unequivocally oppose the use of anti-Semitic tropes. We would have condemned such tweets from any member of Congress, regardless of their party or background." CEO of the American Jewish Committee, David Harris, wrote on Twitter of Omar's comments, "It's not about faith or any other identity defense she conjures up. It's about anti-Semitism, pure and simple." Omar later Wednesday night, when talking about the situation with the Palestinians, seemed to be referring to Israel and the U.S. support of Israel in questioning loyalty.
I want to talk about the political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country.
Journalist Jonathan Chait wrote in New York Magazine's Intelligencer in response, Omar is directly invoking the hoary myth of dual loyalty, in which the Americanness of Jews is inherently suspect. The Anti-Defamation League tweeted the article and said this is not just disturbing, but seems to be part of a pattern. The charge of dual loyalty has long been used to attack Jews well before the State of Israel even existed. B'nai B'rith International wrote that Omar has again trafficked in anti-Semitic tropes. This time they wrote she has accused the pro-Israel movement of advocating for allegiance to a foreign country. With her disturbing pattern of comments in mind, the organization asked, why is Omar still serving on the House Foreign Affairs Committee? Renowned composer, conductor, and pianist André Previn has died. Previn was a child when he and his family fled Nazi Germany, briefly to Paris and then to the U.S. He was nominated for 13 Academy Awards and won 4 of them for his orchestrations of My Fair Lady, Gigi, Porgy and Bess, and Irma la Douce. Later in life, he delved into the classical music world as well as jazz. He won 10 Grammy Awards and a Grammy for Lifetime Achievement, among many other honors. Previn died yesterday at the age of 89. Well, despite a small setback, the Israeli lunar lander Bereshit is doing just fine. We reported to you earlier this week that the craft's computers had restarted on its own, causing the lander to miss a particular maneuver. But after an examination of the computer resets and some corrective measures, Bereshit conducted a successful maneuver last night and is said to be on track and on schedule. CEO of Space IL, the company behind the project, together with Israeli aerospace industries, Ido Antebi, said the maneuver was conducted as expected. All the systems of the spacecraft worked properly. We are on our way to the moon. The historic Israeli craft's landing is expected on April the 11th. Some 150 university and high school students, Jewish, Israeli, and Palestinian, held mock peace talks this week. The Next Gen Bridges gathering was held at Haifa University's Leon Charney Resolution Center, said to be the largest ever Congress to negotiate trust-building measures and solutions to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The center was founded by Tzili Charney to honor her late husband, who helped forge the 1978-79 Camp David peace accords.
We want to create a platform for the two sides to discuss, and it's obvious that we want them to keep an open dialogue and be aware and tuned and come up with ideas.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, March the 1st. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by a concert of Hazamir Choir. Then comic creator Neil Gaiman speaks at the 92nd Street Y. At 9, it's the film The Milk Trial. At 10:30, it's Musica with Eran Sur. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 1st, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.